Jim Hawes, who is also a Navy SEAL, is out with a new book.
An interesting part of history. He's detailing for the first time what he says really happened with a group of Cuban men who took part in the Bay of Pigs invasion, then recruited to take on Castro's troops and Che Guevara in the Congo. Here's our story from CBS 4's Hank Tester.
Jim Hawes, American businessman in town and mixing with Cuban-American Bay of Pigs veterans. There's a big turnout at the Bay of Pigs Museum in Hialeah Gardens. Jim Hawes is special to a small group of these Cuban-Americans. In the mid-60s, Jim Hawes, Navy SEAL, went covert, CIA, commanded what was known as the Congo Navy. The CIA-backed Bay of Pigs invasion is a well-known story. But even in Miami, the exploits of anti-Castro Cuban pilots, combat veterans, and Navy personnel in Africa is barely known. After the Bay of Pigs, the exiles had another shot at the Castros.
They almost got Che Guevara.
Che Guevara was in the Congo with about 200 Cuban troops attempting to bolster the Russian and Chinese attempts to control the Congo and that country's vast mineral resources, including uranium. Guevara had dreams of a communist takeover of the African continent. Guevara and his communist supporters failed.
In terms of stabilizing the country at the time and doing what was in U.S. interests at the time, given all the conflict that was going on in the Cold War, it was a great success.
The story of the naval operation told in Jim Hawes' book called Cold War Navy SEAL. CIA-operated swift boats patrolling Lake Tanganyika to prevent communist-backed troops and supplies from filtering into the Congo. CIA swift boats had originally been used in the Caribbean to harass the Castro government, dismantled, flown to the Congo, sent out on the lake with all Cuban crews. Cubans who were not U.S. citizens but had perfect skills and experience. But the CIA brass was nervous.
Nervous is an understatement. They were really didn't want, they thought it would be embarrassing for the U.S. to have Cubans involved in the Congo. They were very nervous about that. And because plausible deniability was in the clandestine nature of the operation.
The story of the CIA's air, ground, and naval operations in the Congo, told in black and white photos in one corner of the museum. Most all involved, Cuban veterans of numerous anti-Castro operations. Only in recent years has a CIA Congo story become well known.
A lot of the information was classified, and we honored the code. And there was no one else to tell it.
And in the telling, it is a story of success. The Congo did not fall to the communist-backed rebels, and Che Guevara, attempting to escape across Lake Tanganyika, ran into the CIA Navy. There was a firefight on the water. Yep, they almost got him.
A few days later, we have information that he has crossed. That was the information we have. He was in that boat that escaped.
Mission accomplished as quickly and quietly as they arrived. The CIA contractors filtered out of the Congo.
Some people say it's the most successful clandestine operation, at least up to that time, in the history of the U.S. government.
The end result, there was no communist takeover of the Congo. And those in the CIA operation, many continued their anti-Castro endeavors. And many became U.S. citizens, settling right here in Miami. I'm Hank Tester, CBS 4 News.